Tonight, Lansdowne 2.0 is a go.
This is an investment by the City of Ottawa in a public space that belongs to the people of Ottawa.
After recent opposition and years of debate and public input, the plan is approved. Shovels could be in the ground before year's end. We are live from City Hall. Ready or not,
make sure you have good tires on for the snow, proper winter tires.
It's coming. The first significant snow in the forecast for Sunday. How Ottawa is preparing. And true patriot love in action.
I don't feel like I'm giving back. I feel like almost like I'm stealing. I'd rather be in here, you know, laughing and joking and helping the veterans that are here.
Veterans volunteering to help veterans. A Remembrance Day story straight from the heart and the pearly. Good evening. We begin tonight with breaking news. The Lansdowne 2.0 project clearing its final hurdle. Councillors voting in favor of the multi-million-dollar project after a marathon debate at City Hall today. This means Lansdowne will be transformed in the coming years, which the mayor says is the right move for the city, and that transformation could begin within weeks.
This is an investment by the City of Ottawa in a public space that belongs to the people of Ottawa. We're getting huge value for that investment. So when we spend money on lots of things, we don't get any kind of return on that, and there's no expectation of any return. With Lansdowne, we're getting the value of all of the infrastructure that's on that site that belongs to the people of Ottawa.
Mayor Mark Sutcliffe speaking at the end of this marathon session today. The project is expected to cost nearly $419 million. It includes building a new event center, north side stands at TD Place, and 2 residential towers. And CTV's Leah Larocque has been live at Lansdowne for this marathon session today and for other chapters in this saga. Leah, we're not exaggerating when we say this is a conversation we've been having here in Ottawa for years. A lot of recent opposition, and even right down to today, this wasn't a given that there would be enough support on council for this to go ahead.
Absolutely, Patricia. This has been a very long process, and the mayor even mentioned that there hasn't been a project in our city's history that has had so much consultation. I'm in council chambers right now where the debate went all day, and really it wasn't until moments ago where they had that final vote, that final say about whether to give Lansdowne 2.0, one of the biggest infrastructure projects in our city's history, a go. This is a monumental project. It's a massive project. It also comes with a massive price tag. You mentioned $419 million to revamp Lansdowne Park, one of the oldest places in our city's history. You also mentioned what is going to be involved. This isn't just any other construction project. This is going to be a very big construction project. Shovels could be in the ground by the end of the year. We are going to see a new event center. So the old Civic Center is going to be torn down, and we're going to have a brand new event center. Where you watch Red Blacks is also going to change. There is going to be a new north side stands. There is also going to be 2 new residential towers that are going to include hundreds of units, so that's going to bring hundreds of new residents to the glebe. There's going to be retail space. So of course, like a project like this brings both opponents and those who are in favor of it. We heard from many of them last week. There were about 2 days of delegations from people both for and against the project, but it all came down to today. It all came down to those votes, those 25 votes, 24 councillors, and of course the mayor, who gave that final say. The vote was 15 to 10, 15 for Lansdowne, 10 against it, and the mayor voting for it. So again, a very, very, very important vote that just happened here at City Hall, really, Patricia, only moments ago.
And just want to underline, as we're going to get into more of the public opinion on this in just a couple of moments, that there was strong opposition from the councillor in that area, Sean Menard, and Mark Sutcliffe, the mayor, did address that specifically today.
Absolutely, during the final address. So what happens is before that vote, councillors as well as the mayor can address the council table and give their final remarks. So those last remarks went to Mayor Mark Sutcliffe, and he addressed Councillor Sean Menard. He is the councillor for the ward where Lansdowne will be, where Lansdowne is, and where that new development will go. And he extended that olive branch, saying that he knows that Councillor Menard was not in favor of the redevelopment, but said he hopes to work with them. We also know many residents, which you will be hearing from shortly, have said that they're against it. They don't want the added traffic. They don't want a green space to disappear at Lansdowne. But the Mayor Sutcliffe addressed all that and saying that he hopes that we can all work together, we can calm down the temperature of this rhetoric for this very contentious debate and move forward with this project. The mayor reiterating that this is going to be, he thinks, a great project for the city and an investment in our city's future.
All right, CTV's Leah LaRocque reporting live for us. We'll have more from you coming up in just a little bit. Thank you for this. But we do want to get to that public opinion on the project, which does remain split out there, especially for those who live right in the area, in the Glebe, where it will have the biggest impact. CTV's Josh Morano joins us live with more on how residents are now reacting to this approval, Josh.
Yeah, Patricia, it's really all over the city where people are having issues with Lansdowne 2.0, citing the costs are simply too high for a project that doesn't need to happen, and they're upset with the lack of community involvement.
I don't think the community has been consulted properly.
For resident Louise Crosby, council's decision to move ahead with Lansdowne 2.0 hits close to home, living just a few blocks from the site.
It's already very congested with traffic, especially on the weekends. I can't imagine what construction is going to do. It'll make it way worse. The whole thing is very, very disruptive.
Others say the plan could inject some much-needed energy into the neighborhood.
I think we could use a lot more residents. I think it would intensify the commercial infrastructure, which would make life better for everyone that lives here.
But for many residents, the cost, a big concern.
I'm all for more density. I'm just not for throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at it.
It's a necessary evil, but I think they're going about it all the wrong ways.
For small businesses nearby like Irene's Pub, game days at Lansdowne are crucial. But owner Michael Estabrooks says much like Lansdowne's first installment, years of construction will affect business.
It's going to be a nightmare. Is that something that we're willing to, deal with for a project that is going to take us into the future and hold some sort of, legacy weight within the city? Sure, if it's done properly. But that's the key thing is let's do it right and let's do it once.
And outside the core, some residents in the suburbs question the city's focus.
I just think money needs to be spent elsewhere, and it's a lot of money to spend on that. And it's already so nice and beautiful the way it is.
Back in the Glebe, Crosby says she's not happy with the upcoming changes and is upset about what this means for taxpayers.
The mayor keeps saying it's either this or nothing. That's not right. It could be this or something better, but they didn't listen to alternatives.
In a statement released moments ago, the PWHL called today's decision disappointing and said reducing the capacity at the arena has always been the primary obstacle to a long-term agreement. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Josh Morano live for us tonight. Thank you. So as we mentioned, this project passed with 15 councillors voting in favour and 10 against. Back to CTV's Leah LaRocque now for more on how this debate unfolded.
One of the oldest spots in the city is officially getting a new look. Lansdowne 2.0 given the final go-ahead by Ottawa Council.
Mayor Sutcliffe.
Yes.
15 yeas, 10 nays.
With a vote to 15-10, Council saying yes to the $419 million project after hours of discussion.
I simply don't accept the negative narrative that I've been hearing in the public about this from some people. I am an optimist. I am excited about Ottawa's future. This is an opportunity to invest in that future.
Lansdowne will get a new arena with a 6,600 person capacity, new north side stands, 2 residential towers, and retail space.
In fact, we have no relationship with the councillor presently. We haven't spoken to the councillor since I think Lansdowne 2.0 was approved.
Friday's meeting at times contentious.
There's been a kind of fractious.
I don't want falsehoods to be communicated here. Sorry, you can't just say falsehoods. So I don't know why I'm being ganged up on here like this.
At the heart of the debate, the size of the arena and if it's big enough for the Ottawa charge.
To potentially look at some internal modifications that could push that up a bit more.
Yeah, we're game for that for sure, Councillor.
Now that the project has gotten the final green light, shovels could be in the ground here at Lansdowne as early as by the end of the year. Work on the new event centre would start in 2026 and finish up in 2028. The work on the new north side stands would run from 2028 to 2030, and the residential tower construction would begin after 2030. Although some residents disappointed.
It's like building condos in Central Park. It's terrible. It's no longer a park as it is, and we're going to lose everything.
In the short term, for sure. In the long term, for sure. It'll change in both cases. Construction in general changes the feel.
The mayor insists this is a good investment for the city.
That was CTV's Leah LaRocque reporting. You can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the Lansdowne 2.0 project. Well, get ready, Ottawa. The first snowfall of the season is headed our way this weekend. Environment Canada issuing a special weather statement. But are we ready? CTV's Natalie Benroy live with all the details as people get set, Natalie.
Well, that's right, Patricia. We could see as much as 15 centimeters of snow starting Sunday, and that's according to Environment Canada, and it will continue into the evening, meaning there's a real rush to get those winter tires on.
It's winter tire season in Ottawa as drivers prepare for the first blast of snow. Kieran Bernhardt is getting busy.
With everything getting cold really quick, the phones have just been ringing off the hook. We're booked about 3 weeks out right now.
The city's forecasting shows Ottawa could see 5 to 10 centimeters of snow Sunday afternoon and night.
I'm all set. I have my boots, I've got my coat, my gloves, everything ready to go, and the shovel's waiting for me in the laneway.
An early start to the snow clearing season.
It looks like a sure thing. The season is going to start off, the white season, the cold season. When you look over the last 30 years, the average date of the first snowfall in Ottawa is around November the 6th.
And to get them something warm to be able
Melissa McDonald is stocking up on all of the warm clothing.
Making sure that the next sizes of my children's clothes are up to date. I am making sure that their mittens are appropriate for the schools.
McDonald has 2 young boys. She says last year she went through multiple pairs of winter gear.
I had to go through 2 pairs of winter boots last year just because they get their feet wet. You buy a brand new pair of boots and it soaks in immediately. So trying to find the right pair of boots is hard.
Last winter, the first trace of snow was recorded on November 27th. Then a total of 2.2 centimeters of snow was recorded a few days later on December 1st.
You got 2.2 centimeters on that particular day. And then you had a white cover in Ottawa for about 112 days.
This year's snowfall will be followed by freezing cold temperatures on Monday, a low of -13. Back at Genuine Auto Service, Kieran Bernhardt is preparing for the busy season.
Make sure you have good tires on for the snow, proper winter tires. Really make a difference with the ice and slush and everything.
And the City of Ottawa says it's more than prepared for the snowfall, with staff ready to go on Sunday, and the yards are loaded with salt and the materials needed to get through that snow clearing operation. Patricia.
So here's the question. Do you have your snow tires on?
That's the trick question. Well, I have an appointment for Monday, so almost there,
Monday,
but missing
one day
Sunday.
Late. It was summer 2 weeks ago. It's hard to be ready.
I know it is.
I don't have mine on. Natalie, thank you.
Thank you.
CTV's Natalie Benroy live for us tonight as we take a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. I guess the good news is just rain for the most part today as it's 4 degrees out there. We saw a few flurries early this morning, and depending where you are, you might have seen a few of those. But for the most part, it was just rain. As we take a look at our weather watches and warnings, we are under that special weather statement heading into Sunday. For most of our region, there is the possibility of 5 to 15 centimeters of snow, maybe a little bit less to the north. But we shall see as we get a little closer just how that will break down in different areas of our region. And here's hoping we're on the lower end of that, because I don't think we're mentally ready yet, even if we have the snow tires on. At 8 o'clock tonight, it will be 6 degrees. You'll wake up tomorrow to 4 degrees with about a 40% chance of some showers tomorrow. It's the warmer day of the weekend. We'll stick around 4 degrees or so. And then again, that snow likely to hit on Sunday. Right now in the capital, it is a rainy 4 degrees. Well, some veterans say they're losing access to a life-changing treatment. Shockwave therapy can help veterans cope with chronic pain and other issues. But at the end of this month, it will no longer be covered for everyone. CTV's Caitlin Wilson visits a new clinic here in Ottawa, offering the treatment to veterans and RCMP members.
After 25 years serving his country, including 3 tours overseas, Scott Atkinson knows the toll service can take on both the mind and body.
Mental health is huge with me, and the physio. My body's broken, and I do a lot of physio, kinesiology and such.
For years, he's pieced together treatment wherever he could. Now, for the first time, it's all in one place.
Today's the official grand opening of Echelon Wellness Ottawa.
Echelon Wellness has opened Ottawa's first clinic in Canada, dedicated exclusively to veterans and RCMP members, one of 6 across the country, already serving nearly 4,000 patients.
The demand has been resounding. It is exclusively for military veterans, and we offer them a one-stop shop for all their healthcare needs.
Among the treatments offered is shockwave therapy, one many veterans say has been life-changing. But recent changes are limiting how much of that therapy is covered and which conditions qualify.
Since 2017, Veterans Affairs has been covering shockwave therapy for chronic pain, and so our veterans are suffering, and they don't understand why these crucial benefits are being taken away from them.
In a statement to CTV News, Veterans Affairs says, as new health and medical evidence becomes available, Veterans Affairs Canada will review new evidence and make a recommendation on whether or not to include this benefit as part of healthcare coverage for veterans. Until then, for veterans like Atkinson, those limits could mean losing access to treatments that keep them going.
Myself, I've been through opioid addiction. It's not fun. And the shockwave therapy can help with the chronic pain in the joints, and they're taking it away, and it's going to have bad consequences.
Despite the uncertainty, Echelon Wellness continues to fill a critical gap, bringing care, connection, and a sense of belonging back to those who've served.
We've become such a military veteran community on the outlying areas. It's needed, and it's an easy place, a great place for people to go to.
Caitlin Wilson, CTV News.
Still ahead as we look ahead to Remembrance Day, a beautiful story of veterans helping veterans. True patriot love in action. That story coming up. Ontario Provincial Police are investigating after an excavator struck an overpass on Highway 416. This happened at the Hunt Club Road overpass around 4:25 yesterday afternoon. Police say there was minor damage to the overpass and that parts of the excavator were found on Highway 416 and 417 westbound near Carp Road. Anyone who witnessed the incident or who may have dash cam footage is asked to contact the OPP. A second homelessness and addictions recovery treatment centre, or Heart Hub, is set to open in the capital. It will be located in a strip mall on Robertson Road in Bell's Corners. The facility will offer access to substance use care, mental health services, and other supports from those struggling with addiction. The province is opening Heart Hubs across Ontario after closing some supervised consumption sites near schools and daycares. This new location is expected to open in early 2026. Well, the Liberal government is still standing tonight after facing yet another test on Parliament Hill. Prime Minister Mark Carney's caucus surviving a second confidence vote in as many days. This all comes as Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre faces more questions over a second MP announcing plans to leave his party. CTV's Rachel Aiello reports.
MP Matt Genereux says he likely won't be leaving until the spring. But if the opposition are counting on the outgoing Albertans' vote, it's worth noting he didn't cast one in either last night's or today's confidence tests.
How many seats do you need to have a majority?
I can't remember.
Do you want to answer?
Maybe a couple. So call your local MP if they're not a Liberal and tell them.
Prime Minister Mark Carney joking about gaining more MPs after Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre lost a second in as many days. Multiple sources say Matt Genereux was in talks with senior Liberal staffers about crossing the floor this week. But Conservative Party officials made it clear there would be consequences if he did. Genereux pushing back, posting a second statement, insisting there was no coercion involved in his decision to resign. The party now saying his announcement was expedited by Liberal pressure tactics.
The only rumors I've heard of intimidation and harassment are from Liberals badgering Conservatives in elevators and calling them at home.
The drama driving chatter among MPs ahead of a second confidence vote in the Commons today.
Matt's been a wonderful colleague, and I wish him all the best.
I think there's some soul-searching going on.
Monsieur McKinnon gets no.
The government survived the Bloc Québécois attempt to reject the budget. And now Liberals will spend the next week selling their spending plans before the key final vote on November 17th.
I sure hope that the opposition parties see how much is in that budget for their own regions.
The Liberals got one seat closer this week with MP Chris D'Entremont crossing the floor, but are still a few votes shy of a majority government. And with the Conservatives and Bloc making their opposition to the budget clear, the focus will be on how the NDP vote or don't the week after next. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, quite the week in Ottawa. We have extended coverage of everything going on Parliament Hill, including the latest on the federal budget and the decision by a Conservative MP to resign. You'll find more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, turning now to yet another sign that many Canadians are struggling with the rising cost of living, particularly when it comes to putting food on the table. According to a new survey, many people are skipping bill payments so they can buy groceries. CTV's Kimberly Fowler joins us now with more on this. Kimberly.
Well, Patricia, some Canadians are choosing to stretch their bill payments to the limit, everything from delaying a payment or even skipping it altogether in an effort to keep their families fed, and younger Canadians are feeling the squeeze the most. According to Nanos research, adults under 55 were 4 times more likely to put off payments for their cars, credit cards, and electricity bills, all to buy food. The survey also found about 18% of 18 to 34-year-olds say they missed a bill payment sometimes or often, compared to just 4% of those aged 55 and older.
What's clear is that there's a significant proportion of Canadians that are facing those really tough choices. It's quite striking. I think in any other world, this would be considered an epidemic.
Nanos adds that inflation and high housing costs are key factors contributing to the generational divide, as older Canadians are more likely to have no mortgage or a smaller mortgage payment, and they may be relying on a pension or savings and investments. Now, the rising cost of groceries means more Canadians are also turning to food or social assistance programs or income support programs, with food bank use also on the rise. Patricia.
CTV's Kimberly Fowler live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, just ahead, how veterans are helping other veterans at Pearly Health here in Ottawa. So we take another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. A rainy Friday evening out there, 4 degrees ahead of possibly a snowy end to your weekend.
Hey, Ottawa, know someone who secretly makes our city amazing? We want to hear about them.
You know, the kind of person who goes above and beyond without ever asking for anything in return.
Because Move 100, CTV, and Lazy Boy want to give them a huge shout-out.
We're searching for Ottawa's unsung heroes, the everyday people doing extraordinary things. Nominate someone for a chance to win them a $5,000 Lazy Boy gift card.
Nominate your local hero today.
Let's celebrate those who make Ottawa a better place.
Well, a wet night out there with that rain coming down, visibility not great, and as you can see on the highway, a bit of an issue here on the 417 west at Bronson. The left shoulder, 2 left lanes are closed due to that collision. You can see the flashing lights out there. Do take it easy on the roads tonight. Well, every Friday we want to put the spotlight on 3 good things happening in our city, and it is a big weekend for soccer fans in the capital.
Coulonge, Zapater, Sissoko, and Richie Aparicio.
Atletico Ottawa is hosting Cavalry FC at TD Place on Sunday in the Canadian Premier League final. This will be the first ever playoff match between the two teams. Atletico is undefeated in the past 22 matches at TD Place in all competitions, and the only team Cavalry FC did not defeat this season. The championship game gets underway at 5 p.m.
Can they get it right again? Oh, she's done it again.
And the Rapid FC will be hosting the second leg of the Northern Super League semi-final here in Ottawa tomorrow. They lost the first leg against the Vancouver Rise earlier this week. The aggregate winners of the semi-finals will advance to the championship game on November 15th. Tomorrow's game at TD Place is at 3 p.m. And in case you're already in the Christmas spirit, even ahead of the snow, there are some holiday markets taking place this weekend. The Metcalf Farmers Market is happening at the Greeley Community Centre from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. tomorrow. And the Nepean Sportsplex Christmas Craft Show is on Sunday. Well, do you have a story for us to include in our Three Good Things segment? Something light, happy, a community event, or notable achievement to brighten the day? Send your ideas to ottawanews@ctv.ca. A local program is allowing former military members to continue to serve even after retirement. The Veteran Volunteer Initiative connects those who have finished their time in the service with veterans living in poorly health. CTV's Kimberly Johnson has that story.
Learning about the history and lives of fellow veterans is something Jocelyn Niven loves about Pearly.
Some of the funniest, smartest, kindest people you will ever run into are residents here.
After serving 42 years with the Canadian Armed Forces, the avid volunteer says she was looking to build a connection, finding it here within the walls of Pearly Health.
I can't just go down the hallway to get to a place anymore. There's too much stopping, to talk, to check, to the residents as well as to the staff. You couldn't pry me out of here now.
She is a veteran volunteer, one of the 70 retired servicemen and women who spend their days with the veterans who call Pearly Health home. Retired Colonel Claude Chartrand, a 96-year-old Korean War veteran, says the role helps to build bridges across generations.
We all have our own life experience. That's one thing. And if you can share that experience with someone else, that's very important because you learn by talking to other people. You get the feel of it and so on. You're not the only one in the world.
Niven says volunteers do everything from spending time with residents to helping them get to appointments, as well as palliative care support. Activities, too. One of her favorite days is helping with Wednesday art classes.
I don't feel like I'm giving back. I feel like almost like I'm stealing.
The program is in connection with the True Patriot Love Foundation for the 130 veterans who live here.
Really touches my heart because sometimes I can't reach a veteran, but when I put in a volunteer who served in the same branch, and they're like, it's great.
As Remembrance Day approaches, this Royal Canadian Navy veteran and resident appreciates that Pearly works to keep the spirit of service and military alive.
For me, it means that there is a voice out in the public saying to Canadians, lest we forget.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
Well, it is a gloomy start to the weekend, and things could get worse. A special weather statement in effect for Ottawa with the first snowfall expected on Sunday, but it didn't look so bad earlier today at Riverrain Park. It was mostly rain that we saw today, certainly coming down a little bit heavier now as we take our first look at the forecast heading into the weekend, and it's certainly Sunday that has people most concerned about what to expect. That special weather statement covering a wide swath of the Ottawa region and beyond. 5 to 15 centimeters is the general estimate for the area. Now, of course, that will get more specific the closer we get to this weather event. So we might stay in that area where you consider it more flurries or a dusting. But if we get up close to that upper limit, 15 centimeters, that will certainly be significant for the first real snow of the season. This is what we are seeing now moving through our region. A lot of rain, a little bit of snow just making its way into part of our picture there, but for the most part it will be rain overnight and a possibility of some showers tomorrow as well. As we take a look at our cross Canada picture, the temperatures we're seeing here very similar to what they are seeing in the east. 4 in St. John's, 2 degrees in Charlottetown, 3 in Halifax as well. As we move into Ontario and Quebec, we see those warm spots a little bit further to the south. Toronto at 11 degrees, Windsor at 13. And out west, this is what they're dealing with. Some negative territory, -4 in Winnipeg, -3 in Regina, and -2 degrees in Edmonton. A little warmer south of Edmonton, in Calgary at 1 degree, and Vancouver, the nice warm spot, at 11 degrees, similar to what Windsor is seeing here in Ontario. Our lows tonight, not terribly low. In fact, the temperature has not changed much through the day and will not change much overnight either, as we'll stick right around that 4-degree mark for most of us. To the north, it will be cooler, where they'll see temperatures closer to the freezing mark. We are going to see these overnight lows drop considerably as we get past tonight and into Saturday night and Sunday night, but 0 to 6 degrees, essentially our range in terms of those overnight low temperatures. The highs tomorrow, 2 degrees to 7 degrees, depending on where you are in our region. 4 degrees right here in Ottawa and Gatineau. Your 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centre, celebrating over 80 years in family business. So tomorrow, not too bad, a 40% chance of showers and 4 degrees. Sunday, right around the freezing mark, expected to be snow, could be some mixed precipitation in there, but we do have that special weather statement calling for possibly 5 to 15 centimeters. We'll see -1 with some precipitation possible on Monday as well, and then things will start to warm back up when we get beyond that cold overnight low Tuesday night into Wednesday. Well, just ahead, rent prices are down here in Ottawa and across the country, but one city in our region now has the fastest growing rental rates in Canada. And we have a new pop quiz online tonight for your Friday. You can test your knowledge of the week's news. Take the quiz at ctvnewsottawa.ca. In tonight's big picture, while it may not be an artifact that's headed to the Baseball Hall of Fame, Blue Jays fans will soon be able to catch a glimpse of the now iconic pull-out couch that Addison Barger crashed on the night before the World Series, ahead of his record-breaking performance in Game 1 of the Fall Classic in Toronto, where Barger hit the first pinch-hit grand slam in World Series history. The 25-year-old slept on his teammate Davis Schneider's couch at the Toronto Marriott City Centre Hotel, which overlooks the Rogers Centre. He just didn't want to be in his room on his own. He said that couch is now on display in the hotel's lobby until November 14th. It's a great lobby display. Now, some other stories you need to know right now. We're getting a look tonight at how much it costs to rent an apartment in Ottawa. According to a new report, the average rent in the capital was $2,164 last month, down $26 from September. In Kingston, renters were paying an average of $2,391 in October. That's up nearly 22% year over year. Kingston now has the fastest growing rental rates in Canada. This event recognizes the sacrifices and dedication of veterans and active service members. Guests enjoyed free coffee and matcha refreshments that sell around. There's also a special installation set up showcasing an exhibit from the Canadian War Museum.
Giroux lays it off for Pinto. Slides it back and Amadio scores! Slick passing by the...
Michael Amadio opening up the scoring early in the first period last night when the Sens were taking on the Boston Bruins. The Sens dads were on hand enjoying it. They were there as part of the team's dad's trip to cheer on the players. There you go. But this game would unfortunately end in overtime with Boston poking in the final goal with 5 seconds left in the extra frame. The Bruins winning 3-2. The Sens head to Philly next to take on the Flyers tomorrow afternoon.
Kotovsky, Eshkak again scores!
And the Ottawa 67s also played on the road last night. Cohen Eskog, okay, you know who he is, nets the overtime winner 4-3, the final over the Niagara Ice Dogs. Goaltender Ryder Federgolf kept Ottawa alive in this game with a couple of stellar saves. The Barber Poles now head across the border to play the Erie Otters. Puck drop is set for 7 p.m. The Grammy nominations are out and 3 Canadians are up for awards. Justin Bieber picked up 4 nominations, including Album of the Year for Swag. He's also up for Best Pop Solo for his hit Daisies, along with Best Pop Album. Tobias Jesso Jr. from North Vancouver is nominated for Songwriter of the Year. He collaborated with a number of the nominees, including Bieber on his album. Producer Circuit from Halifax is up for Producer of the Year.
Concerns, definitely. but not worry about it. I have to fly anyways.
Well, coming up, how the U.S. government shutdown is impacting air travelers across the states and here in Canada.
We will never forget your bravery, your strength, your sacrifice.
The very best and bravest of our nation, these heroic souls stood on guard for freedom.
Join the CTV News team and me as Canada comes together to remember.
Remembrance Day 2025, Tuesday morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on CTV. Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, the longest U.S. government shutdown in history is now impacting airports. Flights are being canceled across the country because air traffic controllers aren't getting paid. The last-minute disruptions leaving some travelers scrambling.
Yesterday, I wasn't sure if we were going to be affected or not, but the anxiety from it was crazy.
And on this side of the border, the cancellations could impact some with connecting flights in the U.S. CTV's Sean Leathong has more from Pearson Airport.
At U.S. departures inside Toronto Pearson Terminal 1, the look of business as usual comes with travelers aware that flight reductions south of the border could affect them.
Concerns definitely, but not worry about it. I have to fly anyways.
It might affect our ability to land, but I don't think that we would take off if there was going to be that concern.
We think about it like daily.
The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration's order to cut 10% of flights at the country's 40 busiest airports amidst the government shutdown has only focused on flights within the United States, but there is a trickle-down effect.
Yeah, I got the notification from United Air that the flights from November 7th to 9 or 10 could be canceled.
I mean, I am concerned because it's a connecting flight, like a 1-hour flight to Washington and then from Washington to London. So I am concerned that the second one gets canceled.
Anyone connecting within the states isn't sure what they will encounter.
I mean, clearly it's a concern when you want to travel. We travel quite a bit.
And so it's starting to impact all the travel across the states, but also internationally, because they just don't have the capacity to handle all the flights.
While it was a normal day at Pearson today, NAV Canada said that they implemented a traffic management initiative due to a lack of available staff yesterday.
Also, it's the overflying flights. Going down to the Caribbean, going down to South America. They have to fly over the U.S., and if they start to pull back, and the air traffic controllers in the major centers, not just the airports themselves, but the centers, if they have a reduced capacity, that will also affect the flights going further south.
But some aren't worrying about the possibility of flights being canceled.
If we get stuck in Fort Lauderdale, it won't be the worst thing in the world.
They'll just have to wait and see if this government shutdown causes the cancellation of more flights. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
Well, coming up, Canada gains a surprising number of jobs in October, surpassing economists' expectations. We'll have more on the unemployment rate from the BNN Bloomberg Newsroom.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
We'll get you through a grey November weekend. Time now to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
Kicking it off today with the Metcalfe Christmas Farmers Market. This features dozens of local vendors helping you get a head start on your Christmas shopping or just giving you some ideas while you browse. Food and drinks on site as well. Free parking too. Another great one to check out this weekend is the Indigenous Women's Art Festival at the St. Laurent Shopping Centre. You can celebrate the beginning of the Christmas season with a marketplace featuring over 70 vendors, art pop-ups, and live performances. Definitely a great one for the whole family and a fantastic way to celebrate and support local Indigenous vendors. And last on the list today is the Christmas Craft Show at the Nepean Sportsplex. This is one of my favorite events of the year because it always falls on or around my birthday weekend. I can't wait to check it out. It features over 100 vendors on site, and it's a great way to get into the holiday spirit a little bit early. Vendors include clothing, food and drinks, pet products, and a lot more. Admission is just $7 for adults, and kids 12 and under getting free. As usual, lots more happening around the capital this weekend. For the full list and all the details, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Canada's economy added 67,000 jobs last month, which surprised economists. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has the details.
It now sits at 6.9%. The gain of 67,000 jobs follows September's gain of 60,000 positions. Part-time jobs drove growth in October. Ontario gained 55,000 jobs last month. Quebec, over 11,000. Employment was down in Nova Scotia and Manitoba. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 71.27. West Texas Intermediate crude is up to 59.75. Western Canadian Select down a bit to 47.80. And the TSX started the day deep in the red, then squeaked to a gain of 43 points by the end of the day. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
We've actually made a difference in those people's lives.
Well, coming up, we'll share the highlights from last night's Blue Door Gala, raising funds for an important organization in our city. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. Rainy out there still. It is 4 degrees, which is the temperature we'll stick at overnight and through the day tomorrow.
Pure Country 94, Ottawa's country music station. Pure access to the biggest stars and the hottest songs. After all the bars are closed. Download the free iHeartRadio app to listen to Pure Country everywhere.
Monday on CTV Your Morning Ottawa, we are launching an incredible contest. We'll tell you how you can win a trip to the Bahamas. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa starting at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Well, here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, Happy's Place, Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, Special Forces World's Toughest Test, and Boston Blue. And here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
They're rushing the process, and I don't think that they're hearing the tone of the community and the needs of the space itself.
Ottawa City Council votes 15-10 in favor of proceeding with Lansdowne 2.0, which includes a plan to build a new event centre and northside stands at TD Place.
Make sure you have good tires on for the snow, proper winter tires. Really make a difference with the ice and slush and everything.
The first snowfall of the season could be just around the corner. Environment Canada issuing a special weather statement for Ottawa with as much as 15 centimetres expected on Sunday.
In July of this year, Veterans Affairs sent letters to all patients receiving these treatments saying that they would cease receiving coverage for them at the end of November.
Some veterans say they're losing access to a life-changing treatment, but a new clinic in Ottawa is working to fill that gap. And your final check on the forecast. So the worst of your weekend weather is going to come on Sunday. You're going to wake up to 4 degrees with a chance of showers and a bit of a wind out of the northwest at 20 kilometers an hour tomorrow. And then into Sunday, that's when that special weather statement kicks in. The temperature a little cooler, around 0, and that means snow, potentially a significant amount of snow. The special weather statement saying about 5 to 15 centimeters, depending on where you are. Below freezing temperatures into Monday and Tuesday before it bounces back up on Wednesday. Well, time now to check in to see what our news team will be working on tonight. Kimberly Fowler is here.
Tricia will be having a recap of this Ottawa 67s game. They're playing in Pennsylvania. The Erie Otters are their opponents tonight. So again, we'll have a recap of that. And studies have shown that Black women have higher rate of dense breast tissue and often poorer outcomes than other racial groups. So that means tonight we'll have a preview event happening in the province this weekend that's aimed at helping Black women get access to cancer screenings. And you can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
All right, good stuff. Thank you. And finally for us tonight, we're looking back at last night and the annual Blue Door Gala, which raised some much-needed funds for the Ottawa Mission Food Services training program.
Community is unbelievable. It's amazing. Our donors are amazing. We wouldn't have this program if it wasn't for our donors.
And if it wasn't for Chef Rick, who's pretty awesome too. The event took place at the Infinity Convention Center last night, was emceed by our own Jackie Perez. There was a live auction, 4-course dinner, prepared by the Ottawa Mission's executive chef. Rick, you heard him talking there, and a celebration for this year's food services training program graduates. They're also involved in preparing all of that food. The event raised more than $300,000 for the program. They bring in some great guest chefs as well. And
it seems like a really, really great night, and a bunch of who's who of Ottawa were there as well. So it looks like, they raised over $300,000.
You would have been dressed perfectly for this tonight. Now, not everyone wears blue, but they ask you to put a touch of blue on, so that's kind of cute. You can do it in different ways. Speaking of blue, the Mer Bleu bog there. Beautiful shots of that, looking very fall-like. Is this just earlier this week, before we were talking about snow at all?
I know. We were doing that last forecast, and when he came back, you're like, all the minus numbers. I'm like, no, please, no.
It was cold out there today. You got to keep that coat buttoned up now.
I didn't bring a coat. Today I brought one, but I was just like, I can't believe it's that time of year already.
No, another 8 months or so, and we'll be talking about the next one.
Exactly.
Have a good night, good weekend, everyone.